It was sort of expected that he is going to be purged because Kim Jong-un essentially inherited his leadership team, his top bureaucrats from his father. And it means that he has to run a country through people who are in their 60s and 70s, much older, who have very different ideas about how world functions and how things should be arranged, and so on. It was only logical that at the first opportunity he would start getting rid of these people. And because he cannot yet replace them with people of his age, much younger people, at first he should basically get rid of the most dangerously powerful, influential, well-connected people in the bureaucracy. Last year, he started from the military. He purged the most influential military commander, Vice Marshal Lee Yong-ho, and then it was quite clear that next move should be against civilian bureaucrats. It means Jang Song-Taek, who is by far the most important, by far the most influential.
The way it was reported by the state news agency was that he was trying to implement some kind of change. That is, Jang Song-Thaek was trying to implement some kind of change. Was it a power struggle? Was he trying to change North Korea, do you think?
It's highly doubtful. Of course, if you have purge in North Korea, they always accuse the losers of being factionalists, of being ideologically incorrect, insufficiently loyal, corrupt, womanizing, and so on. We have seen it many times. And the difference is that usually these accusations were not made public. Only for officials in some kind of classified documents the stories were told. And now it's for the general public. It's new. Yeah, I have heard this story about, Jang Song-Thaek, the closet reformer, many times. But if we look at the changes in North Korea, there are some changes. We can see that these changes began to unroll when Jang Song-Thaek lost much of his power, because he was sort of pushed aside. He was pushed away from the high government positions, starting from probably spring this year. And most of the changes began to happen last October, November, last 2 or 3 months. So I don't see him as a closet reformer. He might be. I'm not saying he is not. But it's clearly not the reason why he was purged. He was purged because he was an influential bureaucrat of old age. He was one of the major figures in old guard, which is an obstacle for the young leader, and the young leader logically has to get rid of these people.
Can we interpret this as the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, tightening his grip on power, that North Korea is unrepentant, it will not change its ways, and that this is something that the West should be concerned about?
No, the message we should get is much more complicated. The first part is the North Korean leader is increasing his ability to control the state bureaucracy. He is tightening his control over society. It's true. And he does it in order to start a policy of his own. But we do not know which policy exactly he is going to follow. I am inclined to believe that we are talking a sort of moderate reformist course. Market-oriented policy somewhat similar to China, but I don't know, I'm not sure. It might be a hardline conservative policy of no change or something else.
So it sounds like this will be a more frequent occurrence in the future.
It's very unusual because they did not execute officials in public since December 1955, that is 60 years. They did execute people later, and as a matter of fact, today they confirmed that Park Nam-gi, the former head of the finance department in the Central Committee, was indeed executed in 2010. It's their usual pattern. Even if some board like Park Nam-gi, like some other people are executed, North Koreans don't immediately confirm it. It's not usually reported. And only in 3 years' time, they admit, yes, there was such a reactionary spy whom we did execute. Are we going to see more executions? Well, I'm not sure. Maybe yes. Are we going to see many people losing their jobs? Definitely so. Are we going to see many people disappearing? And in a few years' time, we will see reports that these people were executed? Probably so too.